Why do people feel like Tubi actors are not technically real actors?
Well, I mean, there's actually a lot of answers to that. There's an assortment of reasons. I don't like breaking actors apart, saying they're Tubi actors, because I know some amazing Tubi actors that are better than some of what you would consider real actors, which I guess are SAG actors. I'm not sure what's all grouped in that.
Yeah.
But that's something I wish I would have did.
Yeah.
Well, I got a story.
Okay, talk to me.
And actually, no one knows this. Now that I think about it on a public level, my first time, it was art, and he made it art. Even when I look back at those scenes, I don't feel like I'm watching, soft porn.
Yeah.
It's not. It's art. And I did that movie, and it was one of the funnest movies I've ever done. Yeah. I'll say this. If you are an aspiring actor and you're looking for money, you're probably in the wrong lane. Mm-hmm. Ain't no money. I know an actress right now, she wants $10K to be seen in your movie.
Just to be seen.
Be seen in your movie. It was bizarre. I thought that. I was like, oh, Lord, she about to blacklist herself. Talking about $10,000. But no. She had to check me. There's a lot of people that probably won't work with me again because they probably feel like I was trying to be a diva on set, and it's just like, absolutely not.
What up? I'm YoungBlaze. I'm a rapper, producer, and director, photographer, just all the way around creator. So what about you? You an actor, filmmaker, musician, someone who's creating or part of something amazing? Well, come meet people like you, where we take Chicago, Hollywood, and we meet up in the middle, and we get successful. So if somebody tell you switched up, acting different, acting brand new, nah. Just tell them I'm just acting Chicallywood.
Ladies and gentlemen, what up? It's your boy YoungBlaze, and guess what? You're tuned into Acting Chicallywood, and we're just providing so much dope content. So I am sitting here with
Shanta Renee Smith.
Man, you be working. You be getting it. Yes.
You.
Tell me a little bit about you, far as how did you get into acting?
Well, I started off in background.
Okay.
And I don't think I wanted to be an actor at that point. You know, I was just trying to find an outlet, because I actually thought I wanted to do radio. I wanted to be a radio host at that time. So I would do background for fun.
Okay.
And one of the casting directors asked me had I done any stand-in work. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of lied and said I did.
Okay.
And so when she said, well, the next application opens up, apply.
Okay.
So I did. And I got an opportunity to do stand-in for Tiana.
Yeah.
Off of Empire, and then eventually I got a chance to stand in for Taraji. Really? I think it was at that point where I was like, you know what, I could take this serious.
Yeah.
But, yep, that's how it started.
Did you have anybody that you looked up to where you were like, I really like such and so as an actress? Like, was it any inspirations?
Taraji.
Okay, so
this is the thing with being a stand-in. In Chicago, it's way different from other cities like Cali, Hollywood, or
of course.
Atlanta. Even Atlanta, like if you're a stand-in on their production,
right,
you need to know those lines.
Yeah,
you need to, because it's all about lighting and movement. They don't care about you as an actor. It's not you knowing how to act. You better know them lines,
right.
Or you better be able to time it.
Yeah.
And so that's what Chicago does. Chicago does the tapping on their foot, like you could time it.
Okay,
you could just time it. She was here at the counter, and then she said what she said. She did, and I know I tapped 10 times.
Yeah,
I tapped 10 times, and I just walked towards the bathroom.
Yeah.
So, but I use the time to actually act. So I would learn them lines. We only get 15 minutes, especially if you're standing. We're there at 7 o'clock in the morning, right before the actors get there. You got 15 minutes while you eating your breakfast, waiting on the real actors to show up. And at that time, is that the actors do their rehearsal,
right,
and then they go to makeup. And so now you're there for camera for the rest and lighting for the rest of their time to prepare.
Yeah.
And it's just best to know the lines. It just makes everything easier for everyone else.
Okay.
But I think that's when I took the craft serious.
Okay.
I'm like, I can do this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's important, and this is what I'm noticing interviewing a lot of actors, is that background work is really like where you get your Like you get the experience,
yes.
you get to basically understand like what's to this.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if somebody was watching this and they're new, how important is it for them to really get into doing a lot of background work?
Background is beneficial for anybody in filmmaking.
Yeah.
Whether you are an actor, whether you're a director, you're a writer, anything that it takes to build a production team, everyone can benefit because you get to see the professionals do it head on.
Yeah.
And then some people are blessed in Chicago and were able to work 5 days out of the week, whether it was a stand-in or a background. So that was their job. So you get to see this for 8 to 12 hours. You get to learn lighting. Okay. You get to learn, you know what I mean? The camera angles and the different equipments, you get to see what it really looks like to make a real Hollywood film. Yeah. So even if you don't want to act, you could, it's benefits in it. And if you do want to act, it's not like you're gonna get seen like, oh, she should be an actor, no. Yeah. But you get to watch the actors, especially from a stand-in's perspective. Like you're there on set as their quote unquote standing. For their what back in the day, what we used to call it back in the day? It wasn't stand-in, it was the extra understudy. Understudy. So that's not a thing anymore. Okay. They don't call it that anymore, but that's what a stand-in is in a sense, and that's because back in the day, your understudy studied what you did as to be you. In the case of, but you had to look like that person, everything. All of that was important. Okay. So, and now it's just stand-in because it's a little bit easier.
Nice. So,
convenient.
So let me ask you this: so transitioning into getting background work, now you're getting into doing movies on your own.
Yes, this is correct.
How is that transition? So how does that feel now that you like kind of number one on that call sheet? What does that feel like now?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was a struggle. It was a long walk,
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So like when you're doing the films now, like is it certain roles first of all, what are some films that people might have seen you in?
Well, my most popular movie is a movie called Diary of a Unicorn. That's where I have most of my fans that are not in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my most popular movie. It's a movie I shot out in Las Vegas by a director named Bobby Peoples and his wife, Renee Peoples.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my most popular movie. And then I have, my most recent is To Be Honest.
To Be Honest.
Yeah, that's by a company by Bray Films.
Okay.
Devon Bray. And also Vindictive. Yeah, I shot that out in North Carolina.
Okay.
That director's from New York, though. And that is by Tyrone Tizak Jackson.
Okay.
So those are my most popular movies.
And where can people find to watch those?
Those you can find on Amazon Prime. You can find on Tubi, of course. You can find them just about everywhere but Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's segue into this particular conversation because I know you've already heard or know. Why do people feel like Tubi actors are not technically real actors?
Well, there's actually a lot of answers to that. There's an assortment of reasons. Yeah. Some because they feel like the actors haven't trained, which is true.
Okay.
I cannot take that away from the quote-unquote real actors feeling that way about people who may consider themselves to be actors, Okay.
And real quick, let me ask you, so what constitute from your perspective is like, okay, that person is not really a good actress or whatever? Is it because maybe you look at the character from a perspective of how you could have approached it? Or is it like, that it's not selling you to where you're a fan of them yet?
One is, if you don't make me feel like it's believable, like it's going, it kind of takes away. I'm going to know, like I can tell when you're trying to remember your lines.
It's just like you're reading it.
Because I'm an actor, you know what I mean? So I can tell you're thinking about that next line versus performing in that given moment. Yeah. So that's why I say it's hard. Like, that's why I don't like breaking actors apart, saying they're to-be actors, because I know some amazing to-be actors that are better than some of what you would consider real actors, which I guess are SAG actors. I'm not sure what's all grouped in that. Yeah. But I don't consider myself a to-be actor. Yeah. But is all of my movies are on Tubi.
Right, but I guess the question is, if somebody is basically gaining a fan base, they gaining a presence, they making some money, is it a bad thing to be considered a to-be actor?
I'm just acting Chicallywood.